Okay, I'm going to do a little examining here of my casts. These are the first tracks that I found and did the cast. And I've got my Sasquatch Field guide. I've got it out because I had a friend of ours had pointed out a few things. He showed me this field guide and pointed out a few things about this. So like this foot here, it's got the question mark type look to it. We're saying if you can see the question mark, like right there, that's a human trait. And I really think these two were the same foot, probably the same one. But also I'm looking at the toes. The human toes usually curved inward, compressed in from wearing shoes, where these toes are not. None of these toes are compressed in from wearing shoes. So those toes have more of a bigger open look, like these two here, where they're not compressed. And another thing that we noticed too, or the friend of mine noticed, which this is the original footprint here. And I thought that the big toe had slid in the mud and curved a little. But a friend of mine noticed the other day that this is not the big toe. This is actually a smaller print. Like that. As you can see the big toe and the smaller toes, the ball of the foot, the heel. But too, after I got to looking at it, it looks to me like this, the small footprint here, it looks like it has the mid-tarsal break. And nobody really knows for sure. Nobody even, like nobody saw what made these tracks. But this has the mid-tarsal break shown here on the guide. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing that mid-tarsal break on the small track there. That's what the friend of ours, he thought this one might have been showing the mid-tarsal break. And then he noticed that was a small footprint also over top of the bigger one. But that's looking to me like the mid-tarsal break, like they're showing in the field guide. And this one still might be, this one might have it also. Turning it sideways and looking at it like that. Right here in the middle. It does dip in. So both of those might be mid-tarsal break. And none of the little toes on these are compressed in from wearing shoes. Of course, there's a lot of questions asked about stuff like this. This is the track from this one, this little one here. So how the coyote had stepped in it. So I have part of the coyote track here in the footprint. And then turning this one this way, that might possibly be mid-tarsal break on it also. But yeah, looking at it this way, it kind of looks like it's got the question mark shape. So it's really hard to tell without actually seeing what made these. Of course, I wouldn't think there would be anybody running around the woods out there barefoot. Not out there where I found these. Because you do have water moccasins, rattlesnakes, and you surely can't run out across the palmettos and stuff. That would tear your feet up. Just trying to see this. This is the small footprint. You can see the toes over here. The small footprint on top of the big footprint. And none of these were huge. These, the ones that I think are the adult, right here, those are 8.5 inches long. And then these are smaller. These were what I thought would probably be a juvenile. And that one looks about the same exact size. It looks like the same size. So really, without being there or seeing who or what made these tracks, it's hard to tell. But I'm just trying to question what I'm seeing, learning to ask a lot more questions. And now that I have the field guide, and now today we actually made casts of our own feet today, so we can use them in comparisons also. So we'll have a video coming up with that soon too, where we were making the casts, and then we'll be doing comparisons also. But these are the first tracks that I found. And I only made the one cast of the small one here, the juvenile. I'm pretty sure there was 2 different sized juvenile tracks. And every one of these tracks were in line. They wasn't staggered like the humans do. The footsteps staggered. These were all in line. Alright, there we go, just showing off what we got here and looking at them. Okay, I got the Sasquatch Field guide out, because here's our cast of our feet. So mine are showing like 10 3/4 inches long, each one. And Lynette's is showing about 9.5 long. And then hers is about 3.5, just over 3.5 wide. Mine's about 3 3/4 wide. Actually, mine's almost 4 inches wide. And that one's almost 4 inches wide. So I got these, we made these casts so we can see how it's, and here it shows the human foot. So our toes are pretty consistent with what it shows here. In the field guide it's showing where we pretty much have the question mark look here. On these, you pretty much got the question mark on the human foot. And ours, the small toe is compressed in from wearing shoes. When that's the same. Our small toe is compressed in from wearing shoes. So we got these, made our casts of our feet so we could compare to these. So like if you're looking at the toes, the foot itself, that's a pretty big difference. Of course, a lot of people have different feet. And we just did ours to do some comparisons. And in the future we can use them to do more comparisons with other casts we make. So this is the juvenile. So just showing some comparisons and how they look. See, that one looks pretty flat across it. It doesn't have a mid-tarsal break. That one's not as flat, the heel one a little deeper. Still no mid-tarsal break. And that one's flatter. No mid-tarsal break. So I do see like this one where the heel was deeper. Same as this one. So that one the heel was deeper. And that could be a mid-tarsal break or it may not be. And I was kind of seeing one here and one in this, but not in these. But still, I could be wrong about that too. It may not be. So just doing some comparisons. Trying to measure everything we can. Using our field guide for all the different feet. And also in the let's see, where's it at? Right here. So in the video I'm also showing the step is from the heel of one foot to the heel of the other. So like from the left foot to the right foot. That's the step. And then the stride is from one foot to the same foot. So like the heel of the left foot to the heel of the left foot. That's the stride. Or you could do the heel of the right foot to the heel of the right foot. But that would be the stride. And we take measurements of that on our feet as well in the video.